Hey everyone, welcome to the Knitting Turnpike. Today I'm going to talk about the 12 days of Knitmas. Now I started filming all of this a couple weeks ago, and I was doing things, getting prepared for it, and I've even got my husband to edit 4 videos which are ready to go. However, we women sometimes change our minds. In the middle of doing this, I had another idea, and so this is just an introduction to what the 12 days of Knitmas is going to be. And I have a video that goes along with this that I'm going to put on after this, and that's going to be my introduction to the 12 days of Knitmas. I wasn't going to do the 12 days of Knitmas, but it became the 12 days of Knitmas. Anyway, each day for the 12 days of Knitmas, I'm going to talk about a pattern, a stitch pattern that I think will be great to use for making scarves, stoles, shawls, I'm missing something else. Scarves, stoles, shawls, which are the same. And I can't think of the other one. And then the last thing I was thinking, it might be really good. Some of these, if you have a little bit more time, can knit a little bit faster. It might even make an afghan, a little lapghan, or a smaller afghan if you have time to knit that for somebody. Some of these patterns are would look really good as an afghan. So anyway, I will be explaining that in the video after this a little bit more about how you can adapt it, and then I'm going to be releasing 12 videos. I'm not exactly sure about which day I'm going to do it, so if you're interested in this, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, press the like button, and get the notifications turned on so that whenever I release something, you'll know. And also, as a treat, I don't think it's a treat, but I'm going to sing a song at the beginning of each one of these videos, and I am not a singer, so just be warned. It's only a very short part, so we'll get that through. That's my little, stepping outside my comfort zone type of thing. Anyway, I hope you guys will enjoy this series a lot. If you do, if you are enjoying it, if you're watching them now, and you like them, please give them a thumbs up. Please put some comments below. Let me know more of what type of videos you'd like to see. If you'd like to see more stitch pattern videos, let me know. If you'd like to see more projects that I'm working on, please let me know that as well. I do have on a Christmas sweater in tribute for this. This is by Humbug and little snowflakes. Anyway, getting ready for Christmas over here. If you're going to be knitting for Christmas, you need to start thinking about your Christmas knitting and getting it going. So just wanted to give a little introduction to the other video, and then you will see those 12 days of Knitmas videos coming. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a lovely day. Okay, here we go. This is gonna be bad. On the first day of Knitmas, Knitting Turnpike showed me how to knit the texture stitch. On the second day of Knitmas, Knitting Turnpike showed me knotted openwork lace and how to knit the textured stitch. Today I'm going to show you how to do a pattern for our Christmas knitting series. I did a video about a week ago, might be longer depending on when this video is being posted, but it was telling you about Christmas knitting, talking about Christmas knitting, discussing do you knit gifts for your friends and family for Christmas, and talking a little bit about some simple patterns that you could use for knitting. Had a few ideas in there, and what I said I was going to do some stitch patterns to go along with my ideas, and this is going to be a series, my Christmas knitting series. of a stitch pattern that I think would be great to use for scarves, stoles, or cowls. Some are textures, some are lace, and I tried to pick patterns that are very simplistic. Today I'm doing another video in my Christmas knitting series. Sorry about that. Today I'm going to be showing you a stitch pattern that would go along with this. This is called the Knotted Openwork stitch. It's a beautiful lace pattern. Let me get up a little bit closer so you guys can see the detail of this. Really pretty, really easy stitch pattern. All my stitch patterns in this series are 4 rows or less that you just repeat over and over again. So to get started, I'm going to show you how to knit this. Alright, to cast on, first of all, this stitch pattern is done in a multiple of 3 stitches. So that's, if you're trying to make something 6 to 8 inches long, you have to use a multiple of 3 stitches. For this purposes, I just cast on 30 stitches, but still that's a multiple of 3. So I'm repeating this 10 times. When you start, it ends up being a wrong side row, which is a little bit different than most, but it's okay. This is the beginning row. You can see this is where I cast on. It's on this side. So here we go. And also I have my marker to show which is the right side. To do row 1, what you're going to do is you're going to purl all of your stitches for row 1. I wanted to say, I hope you guys have been enjoying this series. I'm going to be doing about, I think 10 to 11 patterns total, and these would all go and make a beautiful scarf or a stole or a cowl. I mentioned this more in that introduction video. I'll put a link to that now. And if you guys have any questions or comments about any of these stitch patterns, please don't hesitate to put them down below. If you're having trouble figuring out how many to cast on or how big to make something that you want to make, let me know. I would love to hear from you guys. And I would also love to know what you guys are making for your friends and family for Christmas this year. I like to do easy stuff like this. That's why I like to find simple stitch patterns that I can, eventually memorize, and that way I can, sit there and watch my Hallmark Christmas movies, which start at the end of October, and knit for friends and family, for those that I love. Also wanted to say, if you guys like this video, I would appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up. It does help in the YouTube algorithms. And also, I would really love it if you subscribe to my channel and go along with me on my knitting journey. Right now I've been doing a lot of shawls and scarves and stuff I've knitted, but this next year I hope to learn how to knit socks and sweaters, which I've never done. Well, I've made a baby sweater or 2, and I want to take you along with me on that journey. Okay, that's row 1. Purl all the stitches. Now we're to row 2. We're going to get to something a little bit more complicated, but not too complicated. Alright, here we go. Row 2. Okay, the first thing you want to do is knit 2. Then you start the part that repeats. You yarn over, and then you knit 3 stitches. Now here's the tricky part. After you've done that, you have a yarn over and 3 stitches. You go to the first stitch that you knit. You insert your left hand needle into that stitch. I hold on to my working yarn to make sure I secure those other 2 stitches onto my right hand needle, and you pull that stitch after you've grabbed it over those 2 stitches that you just knit. Just like that, and you'll end up with it looking like that. That's how you're creating this pattern. Okay, let's do that again. I've got 10 times to do this on this row. You yarn over, knit 3, you take the first stitch that you knit and you lift it up over those last 2 stitches that you knit, just like that. Okay, let's do it again. Take that first stitch, pull it over those last 2 stitches. Yarn over, knit 3, take that first stitch, pull it over the last 2 those last 2 stitches. Voila. Whoops. Just like that. And you know, this pattern, I've already got it memorized because you just do it over and over again. And I like that because you know exactly what, your hands learn the rhythm and you can just sit there and mindlessly knit without having to really focus on it too much, which makes it nice. As you can watch a movie, sit there, talk to your friends and family while doing this. Take it in the car with you. Take it to a doctor's office while waiting for a doctor's appointment. So that way you utilize your time wisely. Alright, yarn over, knit 3. And then you're going to grab that first stitch and you're going to pull it over the last 2, just like that. Now you do that till you get to the last stitch, and then the last stitch, all you do is you knit it, and then you're done with row 2. Now you're ready for row 3. Alright, when you get to row 3, you're going to do the same thing that you did for row 1. You're going to purl all the stitches. When you're on the wrong side of this pattern, all you're going to do is purl, which, makes it easy to remember. You just purl this back side. This is also kind of what I call easy lace knitting, because on the wrong side of the pattern, you're just purling all the stitches. There are a lot of lace patterns I've knit like that, a lot of lace shawls, where you knit on the right side, the pattern, and then on the wrong side, you just purl to get back to the beginning of the right side row. Makes it easy. And then where you have the more complex lace shawls, you're mostly knitting on both sides the pattern, which you have to pay you have to pay closer attention to what you're doing. But I like both. I like doing both. It just depends on what kind of mood I'm in as to what I want to do. But lace is what I love the most. These kind of patterns right here are my favorite. Whereas garter stitch, don't get me wrong, I think it's beautiful and there's a reason for it, and it looks so good with variegated yarn and it's squishy and stretchy, but it's just not my thing to knit because it just the same thing over and over again. It just I like a little bit of a challenge. That's just me personally though. Alright, now we're to the end of row 3. We've knit all the stitches. Now we're to the last row of this pattern repeat. We're going to do row 4. Here we go. Okay, the first thing you want to do for row 4 is you want to knit the first stitch. Then you're going to do something similar like you did on row 3, but in opposite order. You're going to knit 3. 1, 2, 3. Then you're going to take your left hand needle, insert it into that first stitch that you knit, pull it over those last 2 stitches. Remember when we did this? Make the same type of pattern like that. But then you do the yarn over. Before we were doing the yarn over, knit 3. Now we're doing the knit 3, pull the stitch over, then you do the yarn over at the end. I think I'm confusing you by saying all this. Let me say it again. This is what you do for row 4. You knit 3, go into that first stitch, pull it over the last 2, do a yarn over. Keep on going. Knit 3, pull that stitch over the last 2, do a yarn over. Knit 3, go into that first stitch, pull it over the last 2, yarn over. Oops, don't do that yet. Pull that stitch over the last 2, then do the yarn over. 1, 2, 3. Pull that stitch over the last 2, yarn over. Pull that first stitch over the last 2, yarn over. Alright, you do that to the last 2 stitches, and then when you get to the last 2 stitches, you just knit them just like that, and then you're done. Oops, I'm in the below that stitch right there. And then you're done with the 4-row pattern repeat, and you just start again with row 1. You turn it and start doing row 1 over again, and you repeat these 4 rows to give you this pattern. And look how beautiful that is. It's just, you know, you could even block it a little bit, open it up a little bit more. If you like it like that, that's fine too. Make a beautiful scarf, stole, shawl. Anyway, let me get it closer so you can see it. Just beautiful design. Very simple too. Anyway, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys have a lovely day and are having so much fun getting your Christmas knitting done. Alright, see you next time.